Hi everyone, hope you're well. Me and Josephine are here. It feels like a long time since we've seen you. I can't remember what the last video was that we did, but as you can see, we've got lovely Martine here today, and it's lovely to see her. Feels like an absolute lifetime, and so it's weird seeing you on the computer, but it's lovely to see you, Martine, and hopefully very soon we'll see you in person. So, as you all know, there's been a few changes with lockdown and the current situation we're in. So now we are going through something which is like called the easing of lockdown. So there's some new rules and regulations. Josephine has got quite a lot of questions and she's feeling a little bit anxious and was asking me quite a lot of questions, and I thought, how am I going to best describe this to Josephine in a way that can make her feel comfortable? And I said, I've got the perfect person who we've not seen for ages and it'd be lovely to chat to. I know she'll be really helpful. And it's Martine. So, hiya, Martine. It's lovely to see you.
Hi, Kate. Hi, Josephine. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you. How are you anyway? How's lockdown been for you? Are you okay? Do you feel like you've survived it? Have you struggled a bit or have you come out all right?
Just about come out all right, I think. I was very nervous when I was first starting to go out, and a little bit confused with the rules, but now I've been out a few times, I feel a lot more confident, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, it's lovely to see you. And like I said, it'd be nice to see you in person, hopefully very soon. But it's lovely to see you and have you. So as you know, like Martine knows, but if some people watching, if you've seen us other videos, you'll know that Josephine is staying with me and my husband, who is Michael, during lockdown. And we've also got Jack with us as well. So there's 4 of us, well, there's 5 of us, my little girl Luna, and we've all just been doing it together. There's been ups and downs. There's been times when we've needed a bit of support, and there's been time when we've needed a bit of time on his own. But Josephine especially has been having a lot of questions around what does it mean? What's easing mean? What does it mean for her? Does she still have to stay in? Can we go out? And the main thing, Martine, that I thought you could really help with is this whole 2-meter thing. Josephine said she sort of understood that we've got to stay 2 meters apart, which is fine when they're in the house and you don't have to do that. But now that we're going to go out and start doing things and hopefully going to see some of Josephine's and Jack's friends, she'd seen on the news it said 2 meter or 1 meter plus, and she got really confused. And actually, it was upsetting her a little bit. So I thought, Martine, could you explain to Josephine what 2 meter is and what's this thing about 2 meter, 1 meter plus?
Okay, well, it started off that people were advised to try and stay 2 meters apart as much as possible. It's not always possible, but to try really hard to do that. And it's kind of hard to imagine what 2 meters looks like. So I was having a think. And if you think of the length of a bed, not the width, but the length of the bed, so from your head to your feet, that's roughly 2 meters. Also, if you think of a big settee, a 3-seater settee, that's round about 2 meters. Or if you imagine 2 shopping trolleys together like that, if one shopping trolley is about 1 meter, then 2 shopping trolleys together is 2 meters. So that kind of gives you an idea of what 2 meters looks like. And that's what the government is advising that people do as much as possible when they go out. But obviously they realise that's not always possible, which is why they brought in this 1 meter plus rule. And they're saying that if you go to a cafe or a pub, then to be 1 meter plus away from each other is the most useful thing that you can do, as well as washing your hands frequently, wearing a mask when you're in shops. Now, are you with me so far, Josephine? Do you understand so far?
Yeah, you're making perfect sense. And it was really good how you said the 2 meter, 1 meter, it's at best is 2 meters, but if you really can't, then 1 meter plus is, you know, how you need to get by. And that's what Josephine was struggling with. She was like, am I going to get into trouble if I can't do 2 meters? And do I have to get squished up against a wall, or do I have to sort of run in the other direction? So that's really, really good at explaining that, definitely.
No, Josephine, you won't get into trouble. This is just advice to try and keep people safe and try and get people to get used to these rules. And it is hard at first because we're so used to all being together and just walking past people and not even thinking about it. But you'll find that other people are in that situation too. And I've seen people walk across the road rather than pass me if I'm on a single path, which is, you know, that's great. And I usually nod and say thank you. And I've done the same for other people too. So everybody's aware that we do need to keep our distance. So the 1 meter rule, or the 1 meter plus, that's a little bit more woolly, isn't it? So if you think of one supermarket trolley, that is about 1 meter in length. And I've actually got my tape measure here. I'm going to have to lean right back so you can see the meter. So that's 1 meter. Doesn't fit entirely on the screen. But I found if I put the tape measure under my armpit and it goes as far as my thumb, mind, I do have long arms. That's roughly 1 meter, okay? So if you're in a cafe or if you're in quite a crowded area, try and stay that distance apart and further apart if you can. Obviously, if it's okay for you to wear a mask, that's going to give you and other people extra protection as well as keeping your distance.
Perfect. And also, Martine, I told Josephine, and it's good that you're reiterating this, because I think sometimes she don't believe me. I think she's just feeling like I'm just sort of trying to make her feel like it's good. So it's really good that you're sort of telling us like the other information. But I've told her they make it easy for you. So shops, cafes, restaurants. And she says she's not noticed it. But I said, now maybe you will. You notice that on the floor or on banners or on doors or whatever, there's a lot of signage about reminding you to stay 2 meters, reminding you to wash your hands, because they've sometimes got like hand sanitizer, you know, like we'll know we've got these in our pockets. But also shops have big ones at the front, so you don't have to worry if you forgot yours. Use that. But also on the floor, if people look on the floor, and sometimes we don't, we just walk and not realize there is actual dots on the floor in different places, even on streets or lines, that's reminding people to stay 2 meters. And if you feel like, oh, I don't know what 2 meters is in this situation, just look on the floor and you can place yourself. Have you noticed that, Martine?
That's right. I've only just started going into some shops. I'll avoid busy shops because I'm not ready for that yet. And I've not been into big supermarkets yet. But even in my little shops, like the local Boots, the local Tesco Metro Express, whatever it's called, I was amazed to see that there's arrows which show you which way to go. There's marks which show you where to stand if you're in a queue. And it makes it a lot easier. Now, I'm not saying everybody follows those. There will be some people that get a bit confused or are in a hurry or whatever. And I've never seen any of them being shouted at. So I think if you make a mistake, Josephine, and I made a mistake, I went down the wrong way down an aisle in Tesco's, nobody minded, nobody shouted. So I just thought, oops, and I went back and went round the right way and everything was fine.
So, Martine, Josephine has just had one final question, and I struggled answering it, to be honest. And I thought you could help. Josephine wanted to know, how long is this going to last? How long are we going to have to do these restrictions?
Well, I think the reason you found it difficult to answer is because we just don't know, do we? we have no idea how long we're going to have to do this. So we kind of just have to get used to it and hope that it's not going to go on for months and months and months. But I think it's quite amazing how we adapt. I know, first of all, I felt really uncomfortable wearing a mask. I hated it. But now it's second nature to me. It's always round my neck, up it goes. And I don't even think about it anymore. And I think that's going to be the same with when you're getting out and about. You're going to get used to keeping your distance. You're going to get used to looking at signs and working out which direction you're supposed to go if you're in town. And what I've said before to people is, don't force yourself to do anything you don't want to do. Take your time. Do it in little steps. First of all, I went for a walk down to the end of the road. Then I went to the park. Then I went to my local shop. Then I went to my local parade of shops. Then I got on a bus and went to town. And I'm not quite ready for town yet. Seemed a little bit too busy for me. But hopefully I will feel a bit more confident the more often I go out. So I will be able to meet friends in cafes and have a look at some of the shops that I've really missed the last few months.
And that's really good, Martine, because you've hit the nail on the head. And this is what I've said to a lot of people that have asked me the question is, we've just got to do us, and we've just got to take it one day at a time. And as long as you've got your hand sanitizer, and you wash your hands, and if you can wear a mask, wear a mask. Me and Josephine and Jack, we've all made our own. So Josephine's got a lovely dotty one now that she can wear. And take your time, take it in your stride. Don't worry about it. Try not to get too anxious. And do you know what? That bit of advice about taking it one step at a time, little bits, starting just with something small and then a bit more and a bit more is fantastic advice. And I think we're going to try and do that. And over the next couple of weeks, just see how we feel. Does that help, Josephine? Do you feel a little bit more confident? Yeah, she says she feels a lot more at ease and she understands it a lot more now. She says she's still not pretty sure about like where to go and what to do, but we'll work that out and we'll do that together. And that's the thing. We're just all got to do it together and keep talking about it. And if we're anxious, talk to a friend. And if you're a little bit upset, talk to somebody, write it down, do whatever you need to do to try and get your head sort of calm and free of thoughts, because then that's how we're going to sort of get by. And before we know it, we'll be back to the normal that we knew, seeing as friends, going in shop and not thinking about if you've missed your milk or missed your bread. But thank you, Martine. That's really helped. And it's been lovely just to see you and lovely just to have a chat. And
nice to see you too.
Yeah.
And Josephine, let me know how you get on.
We will, won't we?
Yeah. Get in
definitely.
touch with me. That would be
great.
And
if anybody out there who's watching this video, if you've got any comments about how you found easing of lockdown, like what did you do? What do you recommend? Just write it in the comments below. We'd love to read it. And also, if you've got any questions to Josephine, how she found it, and we'll answer them back. So yeah, type it in the comments below and we'd love to hear from you. But thank you, Martine, and thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Josephine. And we'll see you again very soon. Okay, see you later.
Bye.